Vols are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Reddit get to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Sunday, October 9th. Me and Landon literally just got back from Baton Rouge. We're for the people. We're for the Vols. How about them Vols, Landon Raby?
Oh my God, dude! I can't believe it. I still can't believe the game happened the way that it did. It was just a great trip.
Never.
Like, I don't really have. I can't really put it into words. Like, I just had such a great time. The game had a lot to do with it. But the whole atmosphere was great. Kind of taking over the stadium and having the team kind of do the same thing on the field was pretty impressive.
Yeah, man, and not just the stadium. A lot of restaurants and bars in Baton Rouge. It was a great time. Yeah, I had a lot of time to think on the drive, and I still haven't, like you said, been able to put into words kind of the whole weekend, but just how the game happened. I said it, and I know I think a lot of people, especially Tennessee fans, want to knock LSU and say they're a trash football team. They're bad. I really don't believe they're that bad. I think Tennessee's that good. I think Tennessee took advantage of mistakes and LSU didn't, and in a game like that, the team that makes the fewest mistakes will win. And man, what a freaking weekend, dude. Start to finish. Friday, road trips are hard because they wear on you. Ross, give it my eyes right now. I'm not drunk. I'm tired. I've been driving for 10 hours. Not drunk, but yeah, it's road trips are hard because when you're in the car, especially with 7 other people, man, it can get a little rough. But man, we had a great time. We had a wonderful time.
I do think, and you were driving, so I know that you might not feel the same way, but I do feel like having more people in the car helps a little bit.
100%.
Because you can get the conversations going a little bit more than if there's just 2 or 4 or whatnot. So
I know me and you probably would have been in a car together if we had split it up in 2 cars, but I think we have more fun all in a car together.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I had a great time. We stayed in a trailer park. Nothing wrong with it.
Official sponsor, More Important Issues.
It was actually really nice inside. But we kind of booked it last minute, so it wasn't a ton of options to choose from.
We got catfish. We didn't know we were staying. We got catfished.
Yeah, we it is what it is. The outside was not great. The inside was great. So that's all you can ask for.
I slept like a baby both nights, so
100%.
I'm not complaining. Dude, all right, let's just. I really don't know how to kick it off. We were never going to be able to kick it off better than Paxton Brooks in Tennessee did.
Dude, we said on Thursday, or was it Wednesday?
Thursday.
It was Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. I'd rather have Elijah Simmons catching punts than any of LSU's returners. They're terrible. They can't catch. Holy crap.
Yeah. Well, and I'm an idiot, and I'll own up to it. Wind was blowing hard in Baton Rouge. Obviously, you could tell on that first kickoff. I don't know who it was. One of the guys on kickoff team had to come and hold it for Paxton. I turned to Lane. I said, "This ain't gonna be good." It's hard to kick. You never practice that ever. Maybe one time on a walkthrough, and maybe Tennessee's better about it. But I was like, "This ain't gonna be good." Moment he hits it, it falls about between the 20 and the 15-yard line.
Yeah.
And as soon as he kicks it, I go, "Yep, not gonna be good." Sure enough, fumble. I was like, "Oh, all right, I'm an idiot. We're good. I'm an idiot."
I mean, if anybody could have had, I guess it was probably the same for everybody, but our emotions was like, I mean, you were saying that it's not going to be good. You're a kicker at heart. And then it's not a great kick.
No.
And it hits a guy right in the chest. And we're like, oh, ball. And then he falls on it. And it's so close to the sidelines where you're like, did he get it? Like, obvious, there's going to be an obvious review on this. Like, it was hard to really celebrate it until they just never reviewed it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, that my first thoughts were Florida in 18 or 19, excuse me, when Trask fumbles the ball and we touched it out of bounds. We recovered it, but before that, we touched it out of bounds, so Florida retains possession. That was my first thought. We recovered it, but did we recover it in bounds? So I just had some bad flashbacks to the swamp that year. But no, sure enough, Tennessee recovers it, gets off to a freaking hot start. Hemden Hooker, Heisman candidate, leading the charge. Like I said, Tennessee just took advantage of mistakes. LSU did not. LSU, you mentioned it. Brian Kelly. I know you watched another Bayou man last week go for it on fourth down and was successful, but take the points. Quit taking momentum from your team, you trash can.
Yeah, and I'm sure he saw that on film, and it seems like it's more not acceptable. It's just more prevalent now that you see more people going for it on fourth down. But you gifted Tennessee a lot. I think they scored 17 points off those missed fourth down opportunities, which
a lot of points.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been 21. But yeah, the one right before the half just doesn't make any sense. It's like you give Tennessee 10 more yards
and
maybe
plenty
they get
of
it
time.
Up to 45.
Yeah, you saw the clock. That's what I'm like. You see the clock. I don't really feel comfortable punting to Tennessee, but I have to there because like you said, Hendon Hooker can score fast. So going for it there, like you said, extra 10 yards.
Even if it's an incomplete pass, it was going to be
too much time with
Tennessee was going to
too good a field possession. Yeah, especially after the possession before that, Chase McGrath had the leg to kick that. You just got lucky that it hit the upright. So it was a lot of dumb mistakes, decisions from Brian Kelly, and I do too want to talk about Tiger Stadium. I told my brother today, and I think I even told an LSU fan this last night. They told us, 11 a.m. doesn't matter. We're going to be up all night from Friday, drunk before. We're going to carry that over into the game. They weren't great at 11 a.m. at kickoff. It wasn't. And I don't think Tiger Stadium's awesome. Like, I'm not saying it isn't as a whole. They didn't show out for an 11 a.m. game versus a top 10 opponent. They didn't. They had a few moments.
Yeah, here's another thing with that. Tennessee didn't give them a chance to get loud anyway.
Well, that's where I was getting to with that is a 7 p.m. game, I don't think all the life gets sucked out of them. I think they stay in it after that fumble to kick off. As soon as that happened, the life came out of them and never came back.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
I think that going for it on fourth down right before the half, not getting it, in Tennessee being able to go up.
Nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I think that was tough. And then, going down and scoring right after, getting the ball back was huge too.
Huge.
You go down and kick a field goal, you get the ball back, go down and score. It was over. I mean, in the third quarter, I was like, all right, we're going to probably let them get back in it, but I think we win.
Yeah. Well, it's like
just never. Props to the defense. I mean, here's our one time that we can stand up and the defense made plays.
Yes, dude.
Flat out made plays, and we can go on and on about the secondary. I don't think they're great. I think they played a lot better than they did against Florida. I think there's no doubt in that. There wasn't a lot. There wasn't just wide open.
No.
There was some, but there was a lot of times where it was.
But they made the tackles then.
Yes, there was contested catches. They still miss some tackles. I just think they are what they are at this point. It's not going to be perfect, but with the pass rush, that's going to help.
Yeah, for sure.
Jaden Daniels, nothing came easy for him. He got hit a ton. I think he rushed for 16 times. I mean, probably 14 of those, he's getting hit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we just put a beating on LSU in every facet of the game. Special teams, offense, defense. I mean, special teams, you have that turnover. Your kicker goes 4 for 5. Could have easily been 5 for 5. I mean, that 50-yarder was a freaking dong punch.
Was it just a 50? I thought it was like a 54. 50.
I knew it was a 50 something.
Yeah, it was close, I think, to a 55-yarder.
Yeah.
Which you did have the wind with you, but still, the height on it, you like you said, he dong punched it.
Yeah, and D. Williams makes his college football debut.
Known idiot, told him not to catch that one. Known idiot. Or wait, no, I don't think I told him not to. I think I told him not to return that one. It was the one that he caught at like the 4 that I said don't catch.
Yeah.
Or don't try to catch.
He takes it 58 yards and probably could have scored. Probably should have scored.
That's tough to get tripped up by the punter. That's tough.
Yeah, you never want to get.
If
you're making it that far, you need to go ahead and make another move to get past that punter. But
yeah, they might rib you for that one in film. They might give you a little hard time for that.
But I mean, what a job those two special teams on the first play and special teams on that play getting Tennessee in position to go score.
Yeah, I think Josh Heupel mentioned how clean of a game they played. The only really like quote unquote bad play they had was LSU's punt return. Other than that, nothing. Yep. Just clean all night. Even on a few kickoffs before they started fair catching, he brings it out and only gets to like the 12-yard line, 13-yard line. I mean, just a great job by your coverage team. Great job by your kickers and punters. Paxton Brooks, he must be living clean or something. He had one come off the foot weird and still got a nice roll, and I think even got him inside the 20 there. So
yeah, and he nailed one down inside the 5, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think they did go score, but they did have to take a lot of time off the clock to get down.
Great punt from him there, and then great job by the coverage guy to find the ball too. That's a hard one when you see him fair catch it. However, I guess every team is coached. Every player goes to the returner for some reason. Not our guys. Coverage guy does a great job finding the ball, catches it in the air actually.
Yeah.
So wonderful job all around by special teams.
Yeah, defense. It was a little bit of bend don't break. But it was making plays.
They were aggressive. They were the aggressors.
Yeah. We went and made plays, stopping them on third down. I think they're right around 50% on third down, but 0 for 3 on fourth down. That was huge. 5 sacks, only giving up 55 yards on the ground. I mean, the passing yards are what they are, but 75 of those came, I think, on the last drive that they had down the field.
I know there were some LSU fans on Twitter talking about how Jaden Daniels is going to tear Tennessee's defense up on the ground. I'm going to go with that guy left the game before the fourth quarter even started. He didn't get to sing Call in Baton Rouge with me. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
And Brian Kelly, I mean, I think he did own up to it. He got out coached. But in the SEC, like, that's not an excuse. Like, you don't just get to live that one down that, hey, I got out coached. You prove that you weren't ready week 1 against Florida State. And whoever your special teams coach is should be fired. I mean, he's horrible.
Go back to Notre Dame. You ain't going to make it here. Well, and that's what's, we talked about it. He's obviously not a bad football coach. We give Notre Dame a hard time. They do have an easy schedule all in all, but you still do have to win those games, and they've won some big games while he was there. But if you're getting out coached every game so far, other than Mississippi State, I guess, that's not good, dude. Like, he's not having a good start. And I know there's growing pains. I know they were kind of hit with the transfer portal too, like Tennessee, but these aren't good growing pains to start with.
Yeah, I don't want to hear like, oh, what he took over. It was nothing like Tennessee took over.
No.
And the injury bug, I know you had an offensive lineman out. Hey, we had our left tackle out too, and we had our best receiver, probably our first or second best player on offense was out again. So don't want to hear anything about that. I think, both these teams. I mean, even Vegas thought it was going to be a really close game, and it just wasn't.
Not this known idiot. He said 21 points.
There you go.
So we're close. If LSU's offense could look like anything worth fighting for, I would have been dead on.
Well, if Brian Kelly would have taken some points when given the opportunity,
he would have helped me
probably
out.
Could have been, yeah. Probably could have been close.
And then our defense, speaking of our secondary coming up big to just icing on the cake. It wasn't necessary, the interception. It wasn't necessary, but man, what a sweet, sweet way to end the game. Is there anything better than ending a game with a victory formation? It's the best play in
no.
football.
And why the heck is Brian Kelly throwing it at the goal line?
I don't know. Let's call Jimbo and see what he thinks.
I mean, throwing a freaking fade, you deserve to get picked when you're throwing a freaking fade.
And for it to happen right there in front of all
Down
the LSU
27
fans that were
points.
left, that was even better. So, no, it was just a fantastic game. And I think, too, a lot of people, fans for sure, and I think even some media members, next week was a big week no matter what happened yesterday. Next week was a big week. Bama looks beatable, quote unquote. You've got Bryce Young potentially out. Tennessee's playing good football. No matter what happened this week, next week was a big game. Well,
yeah.
So a lot of people they thought overlooking Tennessee did more than took care of business. Did more than that. So to kind of come off a bye week, it's always positive, right? When you see a team look better out of a bye week, it means they're focused. It means they're well coached. It means they know how to go about their business. So it's good signs for the rest of the season. So to have Bama come out of a bye week and look how you looked, you grade this week as an A for Tennessee all around.
Yeah, 100%.
You grade as an A.
And I don't. Tennessee wasn't perfect by any means.
A+.
I mean, they left some points out on the board. You don't want to settle for field goals. And maybe teams are thinking like, hey, I need to go for it on 4th down because I can't match what Tennessee's putting up. So maybe that's just a tip of the cap to how good this offense is and how good Josh Heupel and Alex Golesh are calling plays. But yeah, I just had a great time. I had a fantastic time. Everybody in Baton Rouge was super nice, except for maybe one person.
Yeah, I'd say a handful. And that's the thing I want to say. And I think if fans come to Knoxville and they talk about bad Tennessee fans, then they're just only remembering the negative. And that's stupid because I could leave and go, LSU fans are assholes because there were enough of them to say that. But 99% of them were freaking awesome. I mean, just great people.
Yeah, I mean, we got fed
nice
at
all
the
get out.
tailgate. Some boudin.
Boudin, baby. That was good, too. Both of the things in boudin we had were good. That man's was better.
Yeah, that was – I had 2 plates, and I did not regret any of it.
And just all – I mean and I think, too, it shows how good of a team Tennessee is. It's frustrating to lose to people that have programs like Tennessee. It is. It's frustrating. But when you're good, people – I mean, it's like getting beat by Bama. The last few years when we get beat by Bama, you just leave and go, they're good. What are you going to do? Like Georgia, they're good. We aren't good. They're good.
And I'm not getting into Bama. This is the last thing I'm going to say because I need to go back to my point of how Tennessee wasn't perfect. But the pressure's on Bama this week.
Oh, yeah.
Bryce Young coming back. You didn't play well against Texas A&M. Tennessee's got a lot of momentum. It's at home. National stage. I think this is kind of pressure on Bama. I mean, it seems like Tennessee just kind of phases out everything. The curses, the bad juju or voodoo or whatever they got going on in Baton Rouge or New Orleans. It just doesn't seem to bother them. They phase it out. I mean, we just beat a team on the road, blew them out in smoky gray jerseys.
That's a good point. Not all out of orange on the field, plenty in the stands.
We beat Florida in checker kneeling. I mean, this is a different team. It doesn't matter if Peyton Manning wants to come on Saturday. I don't think that affects anything. Hey, let him
on the field. Put him on the field.
Why wasn't he there at LSU? He should have been. He probably was.
He may have been. You probably would have seen him. There weren't many people there. You could have probably picked him out at Florida. Mike, we'll talk about Bama plenty on Thursday, and it'll be mentioned just because of the week you had. It'll be mentioned, so don't worry. We will talk about Bama. He didn't mean that.
Wait, what was I saying?
You just said this is the last thing I'm going to say about Bama.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no. I mean, I'm going to go back to LSU. Tennessee wasn't perfect. I mean, 12 penalties for 107 yards wasn't great. I mentioned they missed some tackles, and Hendon Hooker didn't have his best game of the season.
That wasn't Tennessee's best game.
No. I mean, he missed some throws. He did take that shot in the second quarter that, probably led to some of those errant throws. But yeah, Tennessee wasn't perfect, but I think like going back to what you said, I think Tennessee is that good where they don't have to play perfect to beat people anymore.
No, and I think part of it, I kind of want to correct myself. I think that was Tennessee's as a whole best game so far this season. When you look at what the offense did, what the defense did,
finish,
and what special teams did, first quarter to fourth quarter, all 60 minutes, I think it was Tennessee's best game. But they were, and this isn't a knock on the guys. It's just part of football. It's part of playing SEC football on the road. They didn't play perfect. They didn't play, in my opinion, what looks to be their best ball. They didn't have Cedric Tillman. I think there's just a lot left out there for Tennessee to capture. That's all I mean by that. I do think it was Tennessee's best game so far this season. I just think there's a lot of football ahead.
Yeah, 100%. I think they played a lot of guys on defense, and they made the most of it. I don't think anybody got over 50 snaps. Byron Young played the best game probably of his Tennessee career when, 2.5 sacks, 5 tackles.
Probably the whole defensive line. Josh Heupel mentioned in his post-game presser, LSU wanted to do what Florida did, and when Jaden Daniels had to move up in the pocket, try to escape, well, that interior line closed every run lane down when Byron Young would get upfield.
Yeah.
Whole defensive line, stand-up performance.
And I think a lot of that helped the secondary out too. They didn't give up the big play at all. I think their longest pass was 23 yards. So I think that's huge. I know we play a lot of that bend, don't break defense at times, but it seems like Tennessee was more aggressive. They, made plays when they needed to, and they stopped LSU. I mean, LSU scored 13 points. I don't care how many yards you have. If you don't score points, that's what the defense's job
That's
is.
their job.
Prevent them to score points. However you do it, I don't care.
Absolutely.
But that, the stone wall on fourth down by Aaron Beasley, that was huge. And just that first drive of when they try to go for it and only get 3 yards and needed 4. That's just so demoralizing to a team to get that close and have opportunity at points and come away with nothing.
For sure.
With the number one offense in the country going back the other way.
Right. And I think, too, going back in to talk about who took advantage of mistakes and who didn't, the defense did a great job of taking advantage, not necessarily of just mistakes all the time, kind of taking advantage of what LSU was. You always talk about with offense, take what they give you. I feel like the defense did a good job of taking what they gave. Few times Jaden Daniels got out of the pocket. It would have been easy for the backers to try to go make a play before he got to the line of scrimmage. No, we just got to keep him from getting 6 yards now. And just a good job of not necessarily trying to overdo it, because we talk about that 96-yard drive after Paxton Brooks' great punt. Look, I'm not knocking. I don't know who the corner was on the play off the top of my head that tries to go and make that pick on that out route on the far side of the field. I'm not knocking him. He almost got there. But if you just play the man there, that whole drive could be different. And so, that's a time that LSU takes advantage of opportunities. And I think that's really the only one time that stands out to me that Tennessee and defense, in my opinion, didn't just kind of take what LSU gave them, let them do.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Overall, great performance. Great performance. Hey, I know we don't want to talk about Bama. We should have uploaded the video. If you haven't, go check it out on Twitter, Instagram. I told Landon on Friday when we're driving, because when you drive through Tuscaloosa on your way to Baton Rouge, I turned around and said, when we win, we're going to stop on our way back, and we're going to prep. We're getting victory cigars for next week. And we did it. And apparently, I didn't hear it. A couple Bama fans weren't very happy as we trounced through Tuscaloosa, feeling all high and mighty after taking down the Twagas. They weren't very happy with wearing our orange, but we got them. These are Tuscaloosa cigars, and we're gonna smoke them in their face when we.
God, I can't wait.
I cannot wait. I said it in the video. I said it the whole time we were driving through there. You cannot win if you don't prepare. So why would a lot of people might be you're getting cocky, you're feeling too good after that win. It ain't cockiness. It's confidence. We know what we got to do to go about our business. You better buy them. You better have them ready. If you don't have them ready, why would you win?
Yeah.
Bring your cigars on Saturday.
Got to prepare. You know who did prepare this week? And probably wasn't. I don't know.
Name a lot of people.
I don't know why Gerald Mincy was out, but somebody who prepared all week, Jeremiah Crawford.
Yep, 100%.
PFF grades. I know PFF is what it is, but second highest rated player on offense this week.
Wow, I didn't see that.
Against BJ Ojulari and that defensive line who hadn't given up a 100-yard rusher so far this season. Well, guess what? Jabari Small did that, and that was a huge part of it. Props to the offensive line. Props to Jeremiah Crawford. I mean, they held their own. The only time Hendon Hooker really took a shot was, a corner blitz. And that's probably a little bit on everybody.
Who picked up that ball? Was it Jabari or Jalen?
I don't remember.
I can't remember off the top of my head. What a play!
That was a big play.
We talk about this team being different. 2 years ago, maybe even last year, that ball's picked up by LSU and maybe scored for a touchdown. Not with this team. Heads up play, know where the ball's at, know where the line to gain's at, and go get it. Attack. I loved it. And
I don't think he didn't get the first down.
It was like a yard short.
Yeah.
He got. But
yeah, he turned like a minus 15-yard gain into something.
I think it was a 3-yard gain total.
Yeah.
And it was just short of the sticks.
But yeah, maybe it's not even recovered by. Maybe it's recovered by us, but it just fell on. It's just not that extra. Again, this team's just
backbreaker for LSU right there. You think you made a play? You didn't.
Yeah.
And that's too. I'm glad you mentioned Jabari Small when you're talking about Jeremiah Crawford. Jabari Small played a great ball game. I know he had I can't remember what play it was. There was a pass protection where if he doesn't touch the guy, Hendon probably gets murdered. Mm-hmm. And then I guess it was our last drive, not counting the kneel out, when we get the ball on our own 5 and due to a block in the back and we're running the ball. I mean, you're trying to milk the clock and not looking like we're getting out of the back of our end zone, and he bounces it outside, gains 60 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, just what – and that's just a snippet, the tip of the iceberg of the game he had.
But probably could have went further, but the turf monster got him.
Right. That's just a snippet of how good he played. And, again, I think just how this team's – I don't want to say turning the corner because they've looked good all year, but like finding their groove. Maybe making that the third turn at Talladega, or maybe I guess the second turn at Talladega where you hit that long straightaway and you get to just turn up the juice. Like, it feels like they've kind of found that rhythm last night or yesterday.
Yeah, I think offensive line would take more pride in, big runs rather than big throws. I mean, I think they, like to just score and get off the field, do their job. But there's a little bit of pride to it when you break off a big run like that, because a lot of that had to do with you.
Oh, yeah.
So I think Tennessee finding more of a balance, being more explosive in the run game is huge for this team. And you mentioned them turning a corner. They've found something with the run game. I don't know what it is, what's different about it. Maybe it's just Jabari Small. Just, he's found a different gear the past 2 games. But it's looking a lot more balanced than it is, just a pass-heavy offense.
Yeah, and it's still a lot of that run game relies on Hendon Hooker being the runner he is, and obviously that's always going to matter. But when you get your running backs involved as well, that's massive, and it's still going to be Hendon Hooker too. But having them is big. So yeah, I'm excited to see not just about next week, but the next 7 games, what those look like, and kind of how we're balanced. And I think you'll see Jabari and Jalen have a really good back half of the season, based on yesterday. So fired up, man. I'm still fired up about LSU. Long drive is what it is, but when we got home, it was nice to be home. I was like, man, I'm fired up, about to get on a show. I'm about to talk about that absolute beatdown.
Dude, it was insane.
It felt like we pulled into the trailer park again. I was so it was nice.
And I was surprised, I'm sure there is rough parts, just like there are with any city. But I was kind of impressed with Baton Rouge. I really was.
Good.
I didn't have huge expectations for it going into it, but I thought it was really good. I think the campus is laid out pretty cool, where they have a lot of tailgating spots.
Mm-hmm.
whereas Tennessee is super hilly and, it's hard to get that. But I feel like anywhere like in that area was pretty easy to walk to. I mean,
Yeah,
we walked a
they
long
had a lot of
time
space,
to get to eat, but it wasn't a terrible walk because it was flat.
and it was worth it. That burrito slapped.
It was good.
That burrito slapped. Yeah, no, it was like I said, it was a great time. It's one of those trips I'd like to do again. Definitely, I told Landon too when they got moved to 11 a.m. I want to do a night game there. I want to, and I think I want to go. I told a guy, like I said, LSU fans were nice. We're waiting in line for the bathroom at Fred's. Shout out to Fred's. And if anyone has a Fred's button up pinstripe, I'll buy it off of you. Not for $375 like that one worker offered it to me, but I'll buy it off you. I told him, I said, me and my buddy, I think we're going to come back for a night game. We talked about it. And I said, I want to come back when y'all play Florida, Auburn, and Alabama. And I said, I hate those teams with every fiber of my being. I hate them. I said, so if I come back for that game, I'll be wearing purple and gold with you, and I will be cheering my ass off for LSU if that's a game we go for.
Yeah,
because I don't hate LSU.
No, and I will never. I'm not wearing purple and gold. But
anytime I'll wear orange. Are you kidding me? I just said that to get him fired up. I'll be like Marlins man. You'll find me in the stadium wearing all orange.
Yeah, we'll be that one guy that's always wearing Tennessee stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I will cheer for LSU in that game because I'll want one of those three teams to lose, preferably.
Yeah.
And I love talking about how much I hate LSU when we play them, especially Will Wade. Like Will Wade sucks. I do hate Will Wade. But yeah, it's a good game.
They're super fiery about their baseball team down there. They hate Tennessee baseball. There's a lot of hate we got for wearing orange because of our baseball program.
And I loved it. Also, I did. One guy got mad at me because I talked trash to the women's soccer team. Yeah, that's bad. Are they a bad sports town? They don't care about women's soccer. They didn't even know. Is it bad sports town?
I mean, to be honest, like if you wouldn't help me keep up with it, I probably wouldn't know either.
Well, I just loved. So when we were walking to the stadium, women's soccer just wrapped up practice, and they're riding scooters by us, and I just gave them a little, 2021 SEC champs go Vols, and some guy was like, SEC champs? Thought I was talking about football, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how I would confuse that. So, and then that's the guy that talked trash about baseball.
Yeah, he went into us choking, and I'm like, dude, really? Us choking? I mean, we haven't lost y'all in what 4 years?
We made your Hall of Fame coach retire.
Yeah, I mean, we gave him that whole retirement party.
Yeah,
he didn't have to go around to each stadium like Derek Jeter and
Kay and
Dirk and whoever else. It was, hey, this is it. Have fun, Paul.
Yeah, no, it was a great time though, and yeah, it's fun when they talk trash. We were waiting on our Uber back, and some guy said we sucked, and I was like, didn't we just beat you all by 20? That was those two fans. I think were the only two people LSU fans I talked trash to.
Yeah,
because they did it first. And I was like, didn't we just beat you all by 27? What are you?
Yeah, that one guy was before the game. And I'm like, you're talking about baseball, dude. We're about to go in here and play football.
And whoop your ass.
Yeah. And I was like, we beat y'all like 3 a.m. in the SEC tournament.
Yeah, but they drink in Baton Rouge. They drink in Baton Rouge.
So he's like, yeah, y'all are choke artists. We kept y'all from Omaha 2 years ago. What are you talking about?
Hey, they don't.
And look at that stadium they have.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome.
And also, they're going to be the number one team in the country probably preseason, and rightfully so. They got a lot of talent on that team.
Right.
But
I mean, better go win something.
Yeah. Or I'm going to be saying you're choking.
Absolutely.
Because Tennessee, I think we were around maybe in the 20s last time preseason.
I think one poll had us at like 26.
And yeah, we outkicked that, and we were the number one team for the majority of the season, and didn't make it to Omaha. It is what it is, but I mean, preseason wise, they have way more expectations than Tennessee did last year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, preseason for sure.
Yeah, you can't go get Tommy Tanks and Paul Skeens and whoever else that they got to transfer. With Dylan Cruz and Trey Morgan, two guys that will be in the majors in no time.
Right.
So, sorry, that was my rant about baseball.
No, it's a good rant. I like ranting about baseball.
Yeah,
so it's a good rant.
Another. We're talking about guys to impress. Probably, I guess we're to that
Let's do
point. Jalen Hyatt, man, I just think he's had a phenomenal season. Last year wasn't much of a factor. It was kind of that fourth guy, but that fourth guy was pretty much irrelevant with the rotation that the wide receivers had last year. So props to him for buying in and getting better. He just seems to run great routes, and he's got the speed to take the top off the defense at any time. And that throw from Hendon Hooker was incredible. But man, what a season so far, and what a game from Jalen Hyatt.
And this don't take it as a knock on Hendon Hooker. He put the ball in a great spot, but I don't want to discredit how good Cedric Tillman is, or how good Brew McCoy is, or even Ramel Keaton. I don't know if any of those three guys catch that ball. Jalen Hyatt has that last touch. He has that speed from beginning to end, but then that last little extra effort he gave really got him to the ball. And it was a great throw, but it was just equally as great of a catch to get there.
That's knowing your guys.
Yeah,
knowing
for
who
sure.
you're throwing it to.
For sure. So I love that play. Guys who impressed, we mentioned just Jabari Small for me, I think, is the maybe the underrated guy who impressed for the game. Probably hard to call a guy who played as well as he did underrated, but in Tennessee's offense, it's easy to go. No matter how good you play, it's easy to be missed. So I think for me, because of what you mentioned earlier about how the run game seemed to find its footing, I think for me it's Jabari Small.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Dude, how are you not an offensive player and looking at Tennessee's offense and just be like, dude, I could see myself in that?
Oh, for sure. Jonathan Mitchell, I don't know who that guy is. He said Hyatt is who young receivers should look to for what you can become in this if you put in work in the system.
100%.
I don't know who that guy is, but he sounds really smart. Probably related to Smart Cat too. So
he might be. Yeah,
we don't know.
Maybe a DNA test would prove.
We got mistaken for twins last week, but yeah, I'm 5 years younger. But no, like that. What you said and what he said.
You had to throw that little shot in there
about that's on me, right? For looking 5 years older at this age.
Oh, maybe it is. I guess you're just. I was taking it as you're calling Jonathan old.
Oh no.
Like you had to specify that you are younger.
But yeah, I think like you said, how can you not just want to play?
Yeah, running back. I mean, maybe an offensive lineman that's just lazy and doesn't want to run all the time is maybe he's not really wanting to play that. Yeah. But I mean, putting up those kind of numbers, you would think an offensive lineman would want to put up those numbers, being a part of that. A quarterback the same way, and definitely a receiver. I mean, good God, look at freaking Brew McCoy.
Yeah. And I said, so speaking of receivers, I said Jabari Small was the most underrated. That's definitely not fair. The most underrated guy who impressed Saturday, I think you'll like this one. It's Squirrel White. 1 catch, 1 yard, but what a freaking catch for that 1 yard. Squirrel! What a freaking down to get it on. Talk about I think Hendon Hooker put it about the only place you could there to not get hospitalized.
Yeah.
And what a catch from Squirrel White to get that yard you needed.
100%. And he also had a rush, I think, for like 3 yards.
He did. He had I don't know if it was the same play as Brew McCoy had on that first down, but similar jet sweep play.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't because Brews was under center when he got it, but similar play on that, and he actually got 5 yards. So.
Yeah. I'm just loving this team, like the confidence that they have. And we talked about the baseball program when they finally that Omaha team in 2021. They just kind of took the personality of the fan base and their head coach. I kind of think this football program is doing the same thing.
What I like in their own way. They're not trying to be the baseball team. They don't seem like the baseball team. It's their own way, but I agree.
There's not a ton of trash talk or anything like that. It's hey, we're going to pick up these yards. We might do a little this but hey, we're getting back on the ball. We're going to go score here in a second. Then we'll celebrate.
Normal football trash talk for sure.
Yeah,
but that's what I like because I agree that they're taking on the personality of the fan base. So you'd think it would be similar to baseball, but I like how just genuine and unique.
Yeah,
this team.
It's just the baseball program, maybe without all the personality.
Yeah. And let's be honest,
Or
baseball,
emotion.
as far as personality goes, baseball players are already in a category of their own.
Right. You're not going to top that. If you're topping that, that might become unbearable. But, but yeah, they're doing it kind of their own way, and they just seem to be fearless. They're not scared of the moment. I mean, we talk about D. Williams. I mean, we're talking about Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Death Valley. Your first game at a
Death
Power
Valley,
5
more like Les
program,
Valley.
and you're returning a punt in a top 25 matchup, and you go return that thing 58 yards. I mean,
That's your first touch in college football, right?
Yeah, that's insane.
That's insane. Absolutely insane.
And I mean, he had no play time against Ball State or Akron. When you want to get those guys a little bit acclimated to what they're going to play, they just throw him in there and have all the confidence in the world that he's going to, make a difference, and he did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you need it. We talked about how you hope everything is advertised. You kind of have to believe it after the catches he made in the return game, and then that first big return.
Yeah, fearless.
That's as advertised.
You have to be as a punt returner. You have to be a little kind of crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe a little dumb. I don't know. Maybe a little bit of both.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Yeah, for sure. I guys who impressed. Were there any more on offense that you wanted to mention?
I mean, I'm going to say Jeremiah Crawford. Since we're just, but him, blocking B.J. Ojolari for the majority of the game, and B.J. Ojolari didn't have a tackle for loss, didn't have a sack, didn't have a quarterback hurry. He did have 5 tackles, but hey, that seems like
that's a win.
Like a great day in the office.
Did you see him against Auburn? That's a win.
Yeah, 100%. So,
my guy on defense, it's my guy, Aaron Beasley. White dish towel hanging out the whole game. Very easy to spot, even with those numbers. I don't know what his official snap count was. It just felt like you saw him a lot more this week than you did against Florida. And
I think he had 46 or 40 something snaps.
Do you know what it was against Florida? It may have been the same, honestly. I don't know.
I think it was like 20 something against Florida.
Oh, see, yeah, it just felt like a lot more. And again, he made a lot of plays. He had 9 tackles, 1.5 tackles for a loss. I think last year it was Jeremy Banks was kind of the linchpin in this defense. It's Aaron Beasley this year.
Yeah, I agree with that. Maybe we're talking about the staple of your defense is definitely your defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's one specific guy. Maybe I would love for it to be Byron Young. I just need to see more production going forward. But yeah, Aaron Beasley, I don't know if he's your most talented linebacker, but he's your most productive.
He's the straw that stirs the drink for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Not your best player on your defense. He's not. I mean, like you said, defensive line's your best unit. Byron Young's probably your biggest playmaker. But the defense looks different when Aaron Beasley's not on the field.
Hey, man, I said we need more Joshua Josephs. Yeah,
how about him?
Sack.
How about him?
Huge sack. And I think he only had 17 snaps. I think I saw that. I mean, I just need more of that. If he's getting back there and disrupting people in just 17 snaps, I'd like to see what it's like if he gets 20, 25.
Yeah. I mean, that defensive rotation's heavy, so you may see it.
and props to Tim Banks for, dialing it up. I mean, the twist and the stunts and
Joshua Joseph's sack was on a great stunt play.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a ton of stuff they did to confuse, and you have to do that. I mean, LSU's, we talked about their O-line before. They're young, they're inexperienced, and Tim Banks just went after them all day long.
I loved it, and I said I'm kind of week by week with Tim Banks, and I still am because you do it back-to-back weeks for me, brother.
Yeah.
But how can you not be pleased with the game he called yesterday?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Loved it. Loved every second. Rodney Garner. I said it to I think it was me and Spencer were talking about it. Blank check to Rodney Garner. What does he need to stay in Knoxville? Blank check. You tell us. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere.
Good. I like to hear that.
I don't think he's going anywhere. He seems like a guy that wants to. I mean, he's usually stayed in one place for a long time anyway. He was at Auburn forever, so Yeah, I'm with you. Don't. Tony Vitello is at your top. Maybe you throw Josh Heupel in there right now, but Rodney Garner is somewhere in there as well.
Rodney Garner, if he's not two, he's a dang close third. I'll tell you that. If he's not two. So keep him around. And we're not even talking about recruiting right now either. We're talking about the actual coaching side of it.
Oh, dude. Those. I mean, Dylan Sampson had a couple carries at the end of that game, but I mean, going in there and beating a team that's your hometown team. I mean, that's got to mean a ton. Jordan Matthews was in attendance. He played on Thursday night, and then he was in attendance for the game as a Tennessee fan, not as an LSU recruit. But yeah, he had tickets, and getting to see that. I mean, it's just got to solidify your decision. Hey, I picked the best school possible.
Especially, I don't know what the official count was.
Tennessee and I can come in here and play immediately. He's a quarterback, so
yeah, for sure. But for even LSU, if I don't know who LSU's officials visitors were, I don't know if Tennessee's in the mix with any of them. But man, what a performance for that football program! You had LSU, you had them empty the stadium by the end of the third quarter. I would even say midway through the third, that thing was pretty empty. But once clock hit 0 in the third quarter, dump fest. Everyone.
I think I took that video of like all them leaving. I think it was about 3 or 4 minutes left in the third quarter. So there was
the exodus started before the third quarter end. Mass exodus happened. Some money or some time left. But man, and then you get at least 15,000.
There was so much orange.
At least 15.
Yeah, we couldn't really see the lower, like the people below us, like how orange it was, but from the looks of everything, it looked pretty insane, and it was loud.
It was very loud. Well, as loud as 15,000 can get. Loud,
right?
Yeah. So 102,000. Like I said, LSU. We 11 a.m. It sucks, but it ain't a big deal. We'll be there. 102,000. What did he tell you? You've never experienced anything like it. We go to Neyland every week, brother. You've never experienced anything like it. You guys talked a big game. You didn't back it up at all.
Yeah, agreed. But I love the.
Sorry, I just got a food delivery.
Oh, nice.
I'm not. Well, no. Here, just take this. I'll eat it later. I can't eat on the pod. I'm a professional. I've only done it once. I'm a professional.
I just love, like, you give Tennessee an ounce of winning. Hey, we're going to show up. I mean, we took over Hoover this past year.
Yeah.
The SEC tournament basketball, we did the same thing. You give Tennessee a little piece of the pie. Hey, we'll come for seconds. And
man, even before that too, like, it's still good. But we talked about it under Pruitt. It wouldn't have been this.
Well, I mean, like, you're winning, 5-6 games. I'm not spending that kind of money to go to, Baton Rouge. I'm not driving 10 hours to go see.
That car ride would have sucked after a loss, especially after a demoralizing loss.
Right.
That would have sucked.
Yeah.
Hey,
but yeah,
we didn't have to worry about that.
Met a lot of great people. Saw some people that we knew in Baton Rouge, and some people that listened to the podcast and stuff. So
I feel like we saw everybody we knew in Baton Rouge.
That was true. Yeah,
it was awesome. It was very cool. People we didn't know were there. We just bumped into restaurants, bar, whatever.
Yeah,
it was awesome, man. We've always joked about the term kind of like Vol takeover. That's the first, because you mentioned SEC, Hoover, and I've been to Kentucky, South Carolina. I've been to several stadiums, Alabama. That was the first like Vol takeover I've truly ever experienced. And I talked to a lot of people, LSU fans. And I said, just because I'm curious just to know. Seemed like a lot of Tennessee fans were there. Seemed like we traveled well. Like, what is your experience? And they said the only thing that comes close to it is Florida, when Florida comes to town, and I still don't think they do what y'all did. So it's not just us saying that. Like, that's from firsthand experience.
And not being able to play them every year probably helps that.
It helps. But Alabama's only 4 hours away from Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
You should be taking at least 10,000, 15,000 down there every year.
Yeah, I was shocked at how many there was. I wasn't, but I was. Like,
it was a little.
I
Yeah,
was shocked that like it was so loud in that stadium because my expectations were through the roof for that stadium. All we heard all week was how crazy it was going to be, and it was, I guess, to a certain extent. But a lot of that had to do with Tennessee fans being there too.
yeah. I mean, there were some people taking their shirts off at quarter breaks. Freaking insane.
I saw that. I was next to
Um,
a guy. It was insane.
um, no, it was very cool. I told you it was kind of like how my score prediction went. It was like my head was telling me one way, my heart's like, this is going to be a letdown. This
Yeah.
isn't how it should go. I told you on Thursday, I was like, based on the amount of people I know going, there's got to be at least 10,000 going. I feel like I know 5 of them going,
Right.
5,000 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I had people texting me like I hadn't talked to in a while. Are you going to the game? We'll be there. So it was nuts.
Yeah. Agreed.
It was nuts. I loved it.
Great time. Great time. Is it Tom?
Number 6 in the country. Is that what you mean?
I can't believe
I've always said media members are very smart. They know exactly what they're talking about.
Capital
AP
J.
poll is the right poll.
Number 6. You know what that means? I know we're not in the college football playoff, but they always pull up that graphic, and there's 2 that like the next 2 out.
The bubble? We talking bubble?
We're in the graphic, baby. What in the hell is going on?
I want to see Desmond Howard's graphic again.
Oh God. Yeah,
It's nuts. Isn't it?
I think before this week, I thought Tennessee was good, but I thought they were at that point because of who has lost, and Tennessee had won some close games.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee absolutely deserves that they're a top 10 team and a borderline top 5 team.
Definitely top 10. And I think, honestly, just based on who they played and how they played, I think right now 6 and 8 are interchangeable. So Tennessee, USC, Oklahoma State. And we can talk about SEC and all of that. And I understand the argument and saying Tennessee deserves number 6. And I don't disagree. But I think you could also put USC or Oklahoma there. Like or State, not Oklahoma. God, they're garbage. They're not even number 16 in the country. I do think it is pretty interchangeable. I understand why we didn't move up in the coaches poll. I get that. I'm not mad about it. It is what it is. But I think Tennessee is deserving of a number 6 ranking. I think you're kind of splitting hairs if you're saying more deserving than USC or more deserving than Oklahoma State. Here's the thing about the rankings. They don't really matter. The teams that win will be there. You'll figure out in the next 5 weeks who deserves it between Tennessee, USC, and Oklahoma State.
Yeah. I agree with that. But yeah, like I look at the teams around us and I'm like, we deserve to be there
just as much.
Yeah. Or even more so.
Maybe more. I mean,
again, there was one guy who put us at 11th in the AP poll. There was one guy
that's
who
ridiculous.
Put us at 3rd, which is insane.
Who had us at 3rd?
A Nevada rider, and I think the San Diego State rider put us at 11th. And a lot of those like that, both of those are the 2 extremes. But I think there is that kind of that happy medium where Tennessee is at 6 to 8. And then you have a chance this week to go prove that you belong in the top 4.
Yeah. Well, and you talked about 3 is crazy. 3's, in my opinion, as far as just ranking the best teams top to bottom, 3 is crazy. But when you talk about deserving, why is Georgia, Ohio State, or Alabama, Clemson, Michigan, why are they more deserving than Tennessee? Is it because of the previous seasons? Because those don't matter.
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
And people want to argue, well, Tennessee's teams that they've beaten are no longer ranked. Well, they probably would be if they'd beaten Tennessee. We're 6. Of course, they have a loss on their schedule from us.
Yeah, I think that one guy from San Diego State put Ole Miss and Oregon ahead of us, and I was like,
yeah.
I mean, that guy shouldn't have a job.
Right. Yeah.
Ole Miss barely beat Kentucky, who just lost to South Carolina. I know Will Levis had part of that, but I mean, he also gifted Ole Miss the win.
Right. Yeah, it's like I said, the rankings in this week, they don't matter in the right way to say that, but it'll figure itself out.
Right.
because the season goes on. You get a top 6 matchup in Knoxville this week with College game day in town. That right there will figure it out for you. But yeah, where Tennessee's at, they 100% deserve to be at. 8 in the coaches, 6 in the AP. There's no denying that. If you do deny it, you're a known idiot, a bigger idiot than I am.
Yeah, and it all works itself out. You go take care of business this week. No one's going to doubt that you should be ranked in the top 3.
Yeah, you jump. We talked about it this week. I didn't think there was any way they could jump Clemson and Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia. All those two. Like, I didn't think there was any way you could move into the top 5. But I saw where you could argue me a 6 or 7 ranking for sure.
Yep.
For sure.
100%. Should we start off with a song? Should we do a song now? The greatest song of all time.
Yeah.
We don't give a damn about the whole state of Alabama.
The whole state of Alabama.
Whole state of
Alabama.
Don't give a damn about the whole state of Alabama.
We're from Tennessee.
That's hard to do.
Go, baby.
Remote.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, all right. So sorry that didn't come through as good. Sing along with us and you'll do the same. So can't wait to be singing that song on Saturday night. Because we don't. I'm going to have a fat cigar in my mouth, dancing on the 50-yard line. I may or may not be clothed. We'll find out.
Oh, yeah, you might not be. I mean, you did take your shirt off when we beat LSU. I don't know what's coming off if we beat Alabama.
Honestly, I did not plan that, but I flashed you so many times. As soon as it happened, it just felt like a natural reaction. Just take it off.
Yeah. It looked good on you, man.
I mean, listen, I think
winning looks great on everybody, so I don't want to give you too much credit, but you did look great.
I think there were probably some people around me that were like, "That dude's insane. What is he doing?" But they also they also went home and told I wasn't. They also went home and told everyone around, like everyone at home. They're like, "This guy in our section sang the entire song calling Baton Rouge with his shirt off, twirling it around."
Oh yeah.
So they had a good story to tell.
There was a lot of people taking videos. They had their phones.
Were they really? Oh, God. I did not know that.
There's people behind us videotaping you. So yeah,
good Lord.
We did get one of the best videos of all time.
That shout out Raven.
Yeah, shout out Raven for taking that video of us on the first touchdown. There was so much room like up there, like no one sat by us, which was great.
I feel like I was celebrating in the end zone.
Yeah, like we just ran up and down the aisles. We were chest bumping, and it was just a great reaction to our first touchdown.
And I'm glad we got that because I always, during the game, I just never have my phone out unless like change of possession, quarter break to look at scores and stuff or Twitter. Mm-hmm. I usually don't videotape like some people do, either the game or themselves. Like I just don't do that. I just get too dialed in. I'm in there like biting my fingernails. So I like for her to get a great reaction like that. It was awesome. Mm. It was truly awesome.
Agree. And last thing I'll say about Alabama. Truly, the last thing I'll say about Alabama.
We got to talk college football, and we're going to talk about them.
They don't look great. They don't look great.
They don't.
They don't look great.
They're still good. I do not mishear us. They are still very good.
And they'll probably get Bryce Young back. But
you know who else is good, though? Tennessee Volunteers.
Hendon Hooker.
Very good.
I'll take Hendon Hooker over Bryce Young.
Right now, sure. In orange? Yeah.
Well, definitely right now. I mean,
I love that the old guy in the cigar shop compared his shoulder injury to God knows what to Bryce Young's. I was like, do you know you're talking about a Division I, probably NFL athlete? I loved it. It cracked me up. He's like,
he said, I couldn't understand what he was
saying. I said, I think they expect Bryce to be back. He goes, I injured my shoulder years ago, and I still can't throw a baseball. I was like,
that makes me feel better.
I was like, I don't think that's comparative, brother.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: their backup can't throw a baseball really either. Probably. I mean, holy shit, he's horrible. He was worse than Haynes King.
Oh, what a
Jahmyr Gibbs is good, but also our defensive line's good
for sure. I liked what Kellen said. That was a good point. We didn't need him to lose that game. I would love to see Alabama lose any night of the week. Tell me what TV channel it's on. I'll watch them lose. But as far as an emotional win, the toll an emotional win can take on a team over an emotional loss, I think there's a big difference.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
did
I think
Brian Harsin keep his job this week? They only lost by 32 to Georgia. It was 14-0 at halftime.
Georgia didn't cover it, right? At 33.
Was it 33?
Was it 23 or 33? I didn't bet on it. It was huge.
I thought it was like 28.
Maybe. So they did cover. Okay. Tennessee covered. Because good teams win.
Great teams cover.
That's right. That's right.
We're not talking about Alabama anymore.
Wait. This isn't Alabama, but involving that game. Jimbo Fisher is an idiot. An absolute idiot. You talk about Haynes King, can't throw a football, so we're going to throw a comeback to the short side of the field at the pylon to try and win the game. Run the damn ball. What's his name in Blindside? Where was Sandra Bullock when you need her?
Yeah.
Run the damn ball.
God, what was his name?
What's the saying? Only 3 bad things can happen on a pass and only 1 good thing. It's the last play of the game from like the 3-yard line. What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, Milroe threw a pick. He had 2 fumbles. I mean, just
it's not clean. That's not clean football. It's not clean football. Hey, I can't make any more promises.
And their kicker sucks.
Yeah, I can't make any.
1 for 3.
Listen, I can't make any promises for Tiger Stadium ever again. I don't trust it. You can tell me I can watch games on TV all I want. I don't trust them anymore. They're liars. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't be fooled again. I can tell you something about Neyland. I can make this promise. Saturday night, Neyland Stadium is going to be the loudest, most rowdiest stadium probably ever in existence.
Did you
of
make
a
up a
sport.
new word?
Maybe.
Is loudiest a word?
Loudest, rowdiest.
I thought you said loudiest.
I may have. Idiot.
But I like loud and rowdy. Loudiest.
It is going to be bonkers is the only word I think you could say. Tony Vitello may end up in a paddy wagon. It is going to be insane for 60 minutes. I promise you that.
Yeah, Henry Toto, this one's for you.
I might need to get me a Henry Toto cigar.
I mean, they played that bad at home. This is Neyland Stadium.
That's a good point. Uh-oh. I like someone said it a little while ago. I think it was Mike. He said, I have Friday night butterflies on Sunday. That's all I could think about on the drive home. Is how nervous I am. How excited I am.
He did say loudest.
Shut up, Jesse. Yeah, but it is going to be awesome. I mean, probably a Friday night tailgate start. That's why LSU fans, we'll drink all night until 11 a.m. I'll drink all night until 3:30, and I'll come in there and beat Bama's ass.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go buy a cigar for Henry Toto. I'm gonna hand it to him as he walks through the visitor tunnel and say, "Hey, you can smoke this one too if you want."
Yeah.
You can pick and choose teams. So if you want to be a Vol tonight, we'll allow it if you go smoke that in the locker room. You still got I know you got your Power T band on. Take it.
He doesn't deserve to smoke.
Oh,
he shouldn't even get to change clothes. He should just have to wear that stupid uniform to the bus and take it back to the hotel.
That'd be a Nick Saban move. Nobody's changing. You're riding the plane back in pads. Think about what you did.
Football guy. That's what they'd preach after. He's a football guy.
For sure. For sure.
I'm
so fired up. I'm so fired up.
Back to college football a little bit. Well, we said we weren't going to talk about Alabama. Here we are.
We can move on. I feel like we talked about it. We didn't get to watch that game except for the final 2 drives, I think.
Yeah, just a terrible play call.
Dana Holgerson, I don't care that you won. You suck. Greg Schiano, you suck. You suck.
I forgot this is the You Suck segment.
This is the You Suck segment. Kansas, you don't suck, but you lost. Play Oklahoma next week, is that right?
Oklahoma, you suck.
Okay, yeah, Kansas by 1 billion. Kansas by 1 billion. Whatever that spread is, take Kansas to cover it.
Yeah.
It's Arkansas. You suck.
You suck. Oh my God.
This goes without saying, but I just saw the score. Indiana, you suck.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Nebraska and Rutgers in at 14-13. Thank God I didn't watch that.
Yeah, well, we did for a minute, but yeah, we watched just enough to know we didn't want to watch any more of it.
Yeah.
Utah, you suck. Lost UCLA, you suck. How does Pitt lose to Georgia Tech and then go just put up $1 billion on Virginia Tech? They almost hung a 50 burger on them.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that in Atlanta last weekend?
I think there needs to be a petition going around to get Kansas State and Iowa State out of the Big 12 because only 19 points were scored in that game. I mean, that should be a felony to have that shitty of defenses in that conference and to score 19 points. You suck.
Was it Kansas State or not Kansas State? Who did Iowa State lose to last weekend on that missed field goal? Was that Kansas? That was Kansas, wasn't it?
Yes, it was Kansas. Yeah.
Iowa State's a believer in defense. The only team in the Big 12 to believe in it. My favorite just kind of callback of the week, I think it was Brett McMurphy tweeted out, last time Michigan State was a 24-point dog, I think, to Ohio State. They won. They were 27 or 28 points dogs this week. They got beat by 29.
Dang. Hey, you know who I think is pretty good now? I think UCLA is good.
Yeah, we'll give the respect. I'll hit the respect button on UCLA.
I think they're good. They beat Utah. I wanted to take that game, and I didn't just because Vegas was telling me that I wasn't correct. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just stay away.
Fair.
But yeah, I think they're good. Oregon, I think they're good too.
Yeah,
I don't know what that first game was, but I think they're good.
It doesn't help. You probably played the best team, potentially the best team in the country,
without any kind of film.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is tough.
Ole Miss, you sucked for at least a half. Thankfully, you played Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, you suck. North Carolina, you're okay this week. I'll give you a pass. Miami, you suck. Hey, I got another respect button to hit. James Madison Dukes, respect.
Respect. They can't play in a bowl game, but respect.
Respect.
South
Carolina, don't care what you did this week. You suck.
You suck. Definitely suck. Oklahoma does. We already mentioned they suck. I think Texas might be good too. I'm gonna say they're back to hopefully that reverse jinx it, and they suck next week.
You got to say it the right way. We're back.
They are.
You got to say it that way.
I think they are.
They're back.
They play Iowa State next week, but then they play Oklahoma State at Oklahoma State. That's going to be a good game.
I was going to give another you suck. Oh, BYU, you suck.
Yeah, how do you lose to Notre Dame?
I don't know. I have no idea. You suck, though. For sure.
I think that was like a pick'em game, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And this idiot picked BYU. I'm an idiot.
What about and we passed this school today, UAB, putting it all over MTSU after MTSU trounces freaking Miami.
Yeah. Didn't they lose last week though too? Or no, they ended up beating UTSA. They did end up beating them. I think they ended up winning that game. Yeah.
No, they lost 45-30
to UTSA.
Yeah.
Oh, Miami. I'm pulling back my respect, but you, sir, MTSU, I mean, you suck. Put the Blue Raider name to shame. Go Raiders. Dude, UAB Stadium's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they used to play in the Iron Bowl. I'm going to look that up. I guess when they got their football program back, I think maybe part of the deal was, now that I realize it, was getting their own stadium.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
It was a cool looking stadium.
Yeah. TCU, I think they are good. I think we said that last week.
TCU, respect all around. Like, they're good.
Yeah.
They are a good football team.
Washington, that's 2 in a row. I think
You're
you
out.
suck.
You're out.
You lost to Arizona State. You suck. Is Mississippi State good? Are we going to I think I will have to put respect.
I will yes.
They beat the crap out of A&M, and A&M almost beat Alabama.
I think Mississippi State's always going to be good enough for who they are. I don't think they're ever going to be a legit contender.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think that's just kind of who Mike Leach has always been, though, right?
Yeah, he's going to win some games he probably shouldn't every now and then, and then
lose some games he shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's just who he is. Just who he is.
Northwestern, you suck.
You're terrible. You're awful.
There was another one I saw in here. Oh, Missouri, you suck.
NC State, you suck. I know you won another football game, so I need you to remember that you suck.
Yeah, you definitely suck.
I did want to mention, because listen, the Shane Beamer video was terribly tacky. I mean, just terribly tacky. But the troll job on that,
come on, Phil.
I gotta just thumbs up. I won't clap for you. You got to do more for me to clap for you. I'll just give you a thumbs up on that one. That was good.
What, they win by 10 and they didn't have their starting quarterback? God, they still suck. I mean, I think Kentucky was starting a freshman at quarterback.
Why did I think their backup had transferred in from somewhere? Am I just thinking of Will Levis?
Well, Joey Gatewood was there, and then he left, or I don't know what happened to him.
Also, I keep calling it the Iron Bowl. I don't know why I keep calling it that. It's Legion Field.
Okay.
That's the field I'm pretty sure UAB used to play at. Tennessee and Bama used to play there when they play in Alabama.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Maybe they used to play the Iron Bowl there. I don't know. UAB was there from 1991 to 2014, and then 2017 they moved to. No, they played there from 2017 to 2020. So yeah, I guess they built that stadium when they brought the football program back. Nice stadium. The roads to get there suck. Nice stadium. We didn't drive by Bryant Denny.
Because they suck.
Kind of surprised. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. A&M, they lost when I realized they were driving west on 59 or whatever it is. What were they doing? They lost?
I guess.
Equipment truck lost? Dude, what a weekend. What a weekend to be a Vol. What a time to be a Vol.
Man, what a time to be a Vol.
I'm going to be honest, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I'm so tired.
I'm absolutely
You want to get to segments and let's start wrapping this up?
I'm sorry, guys. We've given you plenty, to be fair, but I'm tired.
I'm a little hungry too. I haven't eaten anything
yet. I need to tip our Uber driver. I just saw that screenshot because it wouldn't load in Baton Rouge, and I told her she was a great Uber driver, so I need to make sure I tip her.
Can we go most important?
Yes. Will you go ahead while I do this, or I will forget?
Yeah, I'm gonna go most important for the Vols. Getting College Game Day back.
That's awesome.
I don't know who the guest picker is gonna be. I don't know who you really pick, honestly. I mean, if Dolly doesn't do it, then I guess you probably go Peyton. Or you try to get Peyton. Does Peyton even do it?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know because I guess Tennessee just doesn't have as many.
Because if he's employed by ESPN,
well, I thought that's why they would do it the first.
They have to pay him more to do that one too.
I don't know. I wonder what his week looks like. Honestly, I just don't even really care that much about the guest picker. It's fun to talk about. Just get somebody. I ended up enjoying. What's her name? Like I thought she did a good job.
Yeah, I agree.
So cool. What's her? I'm blanking on her name.
But yeah, that was my most important was College Game Day coming back for the first time since 2 weeks ago.
I guess they just said if Tennessee's undefeated, we're coming back. I just really didn't think they would come back to Tennessee.
Yeah, and I did some research today to look at have they ever done that?
Sorry,
Bianca Blair. Yeah, Belair.
Yeah,
Belair. But yeah, I think they're back. They're at Alabama twice. I think 3 years ago. So they've been multiple times to places in the same season. So I think this is I think the second time that they've been to a place in the same month.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Say not the same month, but a month apart, less than a month apart.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. That's cool. My first most important is Bobby Wagner taking no prisoners. Literally, okay. I mean, he murdered that fan that stormed on the field.
Oh yeah, that
Monday Night Football. I mean, just obliterated him. Monday Night Football. That was awesome. I loved it. I think if you come onto the field, players should be allowed to hit you.
Yeah, that's what you get.
If you come into the field to play, how about that? If you stay outside the lines,
yeah,
I'd have to throw a flag, unnecessary roughness. But if you're on the field to play, you're free game.
Yeah, whistle wasn't blown.
Exactly. 100%.
That's kind of all I got for most important. I have a couple fails.
I do have two. Oh man, I say I'm a special teams guy. I think both of my fails are special teams.
Oh, I have one more. Steve Hoyufat in the G League. Great name.
I love that fan. Or that name, I mean.
Steve with 2 E's.
I have one more most important. Okay. Is it Stephen Vogt? Is that how you say his name? The catcher for the A's?
Yeah.
Did you see his final at bat? His kids announced him coming up to bat. His 3 kids. Dude, I was like, that's freaking cool. That's and awesome. The kids loved it too. And apparently apparently they said he may not have known about it.
Oh, really?
That would have been I would have been a dude. I'm emotional. I would have been a mess.
God, did he strike out?
I think he hit a home run.
I'm sick.
I'm pretty sure he did.
That's like the best thing in the story, Caleb. You're just going to leave that out?
I did forget that.
I'll go ahead and fail while you're looking that up. Or do you have any more most importance?
That's it.
Okay. I got Kyler Murray in his attire for this week.
Speaking of the Oakland A's.
I mean, what
is he wearing?
I have no clue.
Cam Newton 2.0. Yeah, he did hit a home run, by the way.
Oh, really? Oh, dang.
Bottom of the 7th. I don't know if they won the game. They went up 2-0 there, though.
Somebody said he looks like a Kardashian.
Don't give him any ideas.
Somebody also said he looks like Hillary Clinton, but
jeez. My first fail is on Florida State. Did you see their punter? He I don't know. I guess he almost blocked, so he rolls out to the right. He ends up kicking the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. Well, in the wide pan view, my man could have definitely gotten a first down and ends up getting a penalty because he punted beyond the line of scrimmage. God, don't give kickers a bad name. Have some awareness of the game. Have some awareness.
My next one is in London. What are we doing, guys? The NFL, like the Giants. Darnay Holmes is got both cheeks out on the sideline, and the video looks like he's just getting a freaking happy ending from the front. I mean, what is going on?
That video was awesome.
You can't go in the tent? You don't have a tent?
Right. Right.
Or was that taken? Was somebody in there just laid up?
There was something way worse going on in the tent.
I mean, holy crap. And then all the Deshaun Watson jokes are coming out. It was like, Deshaun Watson has requested a trade to the New York Giants.
Oh, that's awesome.
But also, poor guy. Like, I mean, this guy's just standing, like, Darnay Holmes is just standing there, and this guy just looks like he's just.
What is he doing?
I don't know, because, like, I feel like if he was, like, rubbing out like a cramp,
he looks like he's like patting him.
I don't know. It's unbelievable.
Concerning.
Yeah.
Concerning is minimum, what I'd say about that. My last fail, this is also special teams. Bowling Green. I don't know who they're playing. You know who they played this week? Doesn't matter.
Who cares?
They tried a fake field goal. Kicker runs out to the left. Holder throws it backwards to him. Picked it up, returned for a touchdown.
Dang.
Just what are we doing, guys? Oh.
Last one is the NFL again. I just don't understand. Did you see the roughing the passer that Tom Brady had?
I don't think I did.
I mean, he literally just like grabs Tom and just like rolls with him.
And they called
Like
roughing the passer?
Yeah, they called roughing the passer on him. It
They
is the
even call
worst
one?
video of all time.
Did they even call one on Tua's injury? They call roughing the passer?
Probably not. But they did this one. I mean, Tom just like gets right back up and like, I mean, he's obviously mad that he just got sacked, but like, I think he was even surprised that there was a penalty flag on it. I think he assumed it was holding. That's probably why he was yelling even more at his line.
Tom and Giselle getting a divorce. I don't think we mentioned that.
Oh yeah. So are we just gonna gift him plays like that just because he's getting a divorce?
Oh, for sure. For sure we are.
Did we forget he cheated on his pregnant wife with Giselle in the first place?
Oh, are we going back to scumbag Tom?
Are we gonna act like we didn't think this was doomed from the get go?
Tom Brady, known cheater.
Yeah, I mean, gosh. Blake asked, "What time does the tailgate start on Saturday?"
Friday night.
We'll probably get. I think we're gonna be at the church again. I think that's probably where we're gonna end up.
Yeah, a lot of C18s just busting our balls by not letting us in early.
Yeah. So we'll probably get there around 6, maybe a little earlier. 6 a.m. that is. So we'll get set up. Come by whenever. We'd love to see you guys, and we're gonna have just a party.
Go Vols, baby. Go Vols.
Go Vols.
Hey, what a weekend. What a way to top it off with this right here.
Oh, yeah.
It is great to be a Tennessee Volunteer.
Oh, 100%. Yes, Blake, it will be at the actual church parking. So I'll see you there. I'm sure you'll have your happy dads. Guys, thanks for listening. That's all we got. I'm hungry. I have to use the bathroom really bad. But hey, go damn Vols. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.